Yo, what is going on, guys? I wanted to go ahead and drop my thoughts on the Madden 21 beta, and this is one of those things that I really feel like people are overreacting to. And I know my take on this is going to be a little bit different than, probably your own and even some competitive players, even most competitive players, I'll say that. So I'm going to run through what I think are the bullet points really quick. I'm going to talk about what I like, what I dislike, and then we're actually going to talk about what I feel like you need to do to get prepared for this upcoming game. And in the description, I'm going to leave a full link to an ebook that I think is going to be the number one offense used by competitive players come week one. Now, with that being said, do me a favor, like this video, comment in the comment section. Let me know what you're most looking forward to with the new Madden. Is it the new abilities? Is it the new plays? Even though there's not many of them, I will say that there's not many new plays yet. Um, the new overall feel, less running, uh, overall the lack of user and how difficult it is to make user plays. Um, what are your thoughts? And with that being said, let's get into what I think. Now, Madden 21 is going to be high scoring. It's just going to be high scoring. The user feels slow. Now, I don't think it's bad. I am of the opinion that having the user not be able to guard multiple routes is not a bad thing. I feel like as a user, you should have to set up a defensive coverage shell that's going to take away one, maybe two routes, and then allow you to user the other route that your opponent might throw. Most offenses are geared at attacking with probably two routes. I mean, typically you either have, two, maybe three routes that you're looking to hit. You typically will have a pull route in some instances. You will have um, like a little dump off route, but for the most part, you're looking at the two routes. I would say two routes is on your average play. Now, with that being said, I do believe that uh, usering could be sped up a little bit. And I say that because if I know my opponent's going to throw to the flats and I want to jump the flat, I don't have the ability all the time. Like there's plenty of times where my opponent will be able to hike, throw to the flat that I'm standing on the side of, and I won't be able to get there. Um, is that an overall speed thing? Is it just an overall sluggish ability of the user? That's a whole nother issue. Um, but I don't believe that we need to go back and have it to where I could, guard the flat, then jump back on a drag, and then follow a post, right? I mean, that's just crazy. You shouldn't be able to take away all three routes. It's not realistic. And I feel like a lot of people that are complaining about the lack of user got really accustomed to the fact that they were able to play defense with three deep blues out there and jump all the short routes themselves. Just the way that's my opinion, right? And I don't have bad defensive user. Like my defensive user is up there, with a lot of the good players. It's not the best, obviously, but I do have good defensive user. So my user is one of those things that I don't necessarily want to see, taken away, but at the same time, I feel like as people get used to it and they get back to how Madden's used to be, like back in the day, they're gonna realize that that's silly, right? Like I said, you shouldn't be able to guard a wheel route to the running back on the right, jump back on a drag coming from the left to the right, and then also at the stop of a dime go and guard a deep crossing route all the way to the left side of the field. Like, that's silly, but that's the game we just played, Madden 20. So I think they need to speed up the user slightly. Um, Maybe make it to where it's a little bit less sluggish, but overall, I don't think we need a massive overhaul on that. Now, let's talk about the other thing that is a massive, point of contention right now, and that's Earl Thomas's ability. For those of you that don't know, and it is called film study. Film study is an ability that shows your whole play art to your opponent. If you're on offense, you run three straight plays that are all the same, or three plays in general that are the same. It's going to show your opponent the play art. And the biggest issue for me, is this is not going to go how they expect it to. It's not at all. Um, if they think it's going to create a divide and kind of, you know, make it to where the average player is in closer games with competitive players, there's no shot. And I'm gonna give you two examples of this. The reason competitive players are so good and beat casual players in the regulars because we know what you're running. Like we can break it down to the point of you're in this formation, which means your options to use plays are this, this, or this. And then we set up our play to take away which one of those we think is most likely coming. Now, the other thing that makes competitive players good, we know what works. Like I broke it down on my YouTube already, right? We know if you're running a motion slant, we know how to stop it. If you're throwing a post or a corner out, we know how to stop it. Now you're going to tell me that we're not even going to have to guess? We're going to be able to see what you're running right off the bat with nothing to stop it? So, one, we're going to know the routes. We're going to know how to take advantage of it. We're going to completely bag your whole offense. Competitive players will really struggle to move the ball. Or, excuse me, non competitive players are really going to struggle to move the ball. Now, let's also talk blitzing. That ability shows you who's blocking, who's not blocking, and which way their opponent is sliding. The fact that we can tell who's blitzing, who's not blitzing, imagine 146 from last year. Now, is there going to be a blitz like 146? Who knows? But there's going to be a blitz. I can tell you that much. We will be blitzing. You're going to tell me that we're not even going to have to guess which side you're blocking or which adjustment you are making to block? Think about that. A lot of people are up in arms about the fact that we're going to be able to see the play art. We're also going to see blocking assignments. I mean, do you guys understand how we are going to take advantage of that? We're going to set up a blitz from one side of the field, and we're going to see your blocking assignments. And if we can see what you're doing and you're going to block it, we're going to blitz the opposite side of the field. That's crazy. It shouldn't happen. It's going to make it to where non-competitive players absolutely hate the game. It's the way it is. That's my opinion on it. And unless they make changes, it's not going to change. Now, what I recommended that they do, and I did this back on Twitter months ago, is obviously we know they want to go that route, right? They did it with Omaha in Madden 20. Let's go ahead and make it to where if you have this type of an ability, film study, right? You make it on corners, you make it on DBs, you can put it on linebackers. Let them see the player they are in front of. For instance, if you have a slot corner or a safety in the box, let them see the route of the slot receiver. Don't let them see what the running back is doing on the opposite side of the field. Doesn't make any sense. But that could be a way that they can work that in. Once again, my opinion, it's probably not going to be taken, but that's what I think they need to do. Now, let's go ahead and talk about other things, right? So, with the zones and the drops being so broken, and they're broken in the sense that, we haven't had enough time to really understand which ones do what, which setting does what. They break it down in 5 set increments, so you can go 5, 10, all the way up to 30. Now, 30 means that they're going to play back in the damn end zone. Like, they're not going to guard anything. They're essentially running a Hail Mary type prevent defense. So, 0, which is an option, and I'm going to get to that here in a second, basically makes them play at the line of scrimmage. They don't draw back any farther. It's like your whole team's in hard flats. Except they'll actually pick off a flat pass. They will do that this year, which is a welcome sight because we've played 5 Maddens now in a row to where a hard flat wouldn't jump the hard flat. So there's that. Now, the fact that it's broken, and it's broken because it just randomly will reset the away team to zeros. If you're the away team, it'll reset you to zeros. There's no warning. There's no tell. The only thing you're going to see is you're going to set up your defense, and all your damn players are going to be at the line of scrimmage. That's frustrating. That's frustrating as hell. And the key is if your opponent sees it, they're going to know huddle, and there's no way to stop it. Once your opponent sees it and they know huddle, you're cooked. Your whole drive is dead, or you're burning a timeout. Now imagine this happening to you a couple different times in the second half of a football game. You're gonna be pissed, one, because it keeps happening, but you're also gonna be out of timeouts. You're gonna have no shot. So I think that's something that desperately needs to be fixed. Now, besides that, offensively, everything feels smooth. Routes are getting open. Quarterback runs are good. Running the ball's turned down, although it can still work if you're not in decent run defenses. Um, I really like what they did offensively. Now, I do have a couple complaints offensively as well. That's going to be the quarterback runs. They get tired stupid fast. And once they get tired, they're cooked. Like, Lamar will get tired on the first or second drive of a game, and he'll be out essentially until halftime. Like, he'll be on the field, but he'll be red, right? So you essentially lose that whole mobility factor of him. Um, so I think that's something they really gotta get fixed because the stamina, if it's bad like this right here, I can only imagine how bad it's going to be when we're playing salary cap, and we don't have backups. So that's pretty much I think the only real weakness. I do think Lamar throws the ball like a damn beach ball. Like the ball just floats in the air with Lamar, especially compared to Mahomes. Now, there's a couple things that people are up in arms about, like if you throw on the run, the ball can only go 40 yards if you're using Mahomes. Um, if you throw it across body, I think it can only go 20 yards, I believe was what Joke was saying. But, eh, I'm so tired of facing rollout corners and deep streaks and everything else. I don't care about that. Like, I really don't. Is it good for the game? No. But does it anger me? Not at all. So that's my initial thoughts on Madden 21, guys. We got one more day of the beta, which you guys will be getting this video here in a couple hours, and it's going to basically be the last day. But let's go ahead and talk offensive schemes. Now, everybody and their mother is going to drop an ebook day one. It's going to YouTube tips are going to be flooded. Everybody's going to drop an ebook day one, without a doubt. I promise you, every site will have an ebook out within the first week, offensively, and that's mainly due to the fact that offense is very easy at this time. But I kind of want to warn you guys that most of these sites and most of the people dropping tips are going to be dropping the West Coast bunch. It's going to be, without a doubt, the most common offensive playbook by competitive players when the game drops. And it has been for years, right? So that's not a secret. But Bunch has everything that you can need to have a good passing offense. And with there being little to no pressure, it's going to be really difficult to stop gun Bunch. So what I'm going to do is in the description, I'm going to take a video that I've done for this year that I gave out to my Twitch subscribers and put up on Madden Daily, and I'm going to just make it a public video, let you guys watch it in the description. And then the video I'm going to drop tomorrow is going to be Trips tight end, and kind of the same concept, because a lot of these offenses that you're going to see are going to repeat in Madden 21. So instead of going out and rushing to buy an ebook that is on West Coast Gun Bunch or Trips tight end, look at these videos and pay attention. Try to learn a lot of these schemes, because from what we've seen so far, 99% of this stuff is going to translate over. The only exception to it are the rollout corners, so like your gun tight offset tight end, your near close flex, those type things aren't going to work as well. But your traditional good passing offenses, like the gun bunch, like the trips tight end, they're gonna be hell on wheels initially. So, like I said, today's video is gonna be this. I'm also gonna link the video to gun bunch in the description for you guys to watch. And then tomorrow I'm gonna just release my trips tight end video that I did for subscribers, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. So. If you have any questions, drop them in a comment for me. I'll talk anything you guys want to know Madden 21. There are blitzes in this game. I can't really speak on them yet because A, we don't know if they're going to change. B, we're going to need to be dropping, fire ebook, on Madden Daily once the game drops. So we definitely have blitzes. I don't think many people do at this point. So uh, it's going to be a great year for us. Definitely want you guys to check out the website, MaddenDaily.com. And yeah, thankfully we're done with Madden 20 at this point, and we got great things coming, guys. So peace.